I stayed up late on the night before the day everything came to an end.
High School of the Dead's 10-year anniversary is today, and so I just had to find some way of paying respect to this fantastic show. So, if you're a fan or don't mind minor spoilers, then sit back and please enjoy. High School of the Dead, known as Apocalyptic Academy High School of the Dead in Japan, was written by Daisuke Sato and illustrated by Shoji Sato in 2007. The series later became adapted by Madhouse into an anime in 2010, and Sentai Filmworks released an English dub of the series. Now, before I seriously begin, I must say this series is known for two things, mostly, and that's zombies and, but I think to simply make this show about nothing more than those two things does an extreme disservice to the series. This show right off the bat features high-octane action with beautiful scenes that have a ton of weight and force to them. When a zombie gets hit down the stairs, you can really feel and see the weight of it all. Many anime 10 years later still don't have this level of detail, and anime is all the worse for it. But most importantly, I'd be remiss to say that, man, this music kicks so much ass. Not only is the opening a complete banger, but every ending theme is completely different and composed for that specific episode. I've yet to see this in any other anime, and it makes this soundtrack feel so unique and great. Even now, 10 years later, I still listen and return to the soundtrack to listen to it over and over again, many more times than you could even say stupid.
Right.
That's so stupid.
Also, no bullshit, but this anime has one of the best pilots in anime history. It gets right into what it's all about right from the get-go. Starting off with high intense action, blasting music, and showing some of the weight of our main characters and what they're dealing with. It also sets up characters, showing their flaws, giving them room to grow throughout the show, giving them their own character arcs, so it starts them off nicely so they have places to grow as characters. A lot of people hate on Rei, for example, and I completely understand that. She's mean, she completely screwed over our main character, and then when her spoiler, she starts to change her tune a bit. What I like about Rei, though, is how realistic she is. When I watched this anime for the first time, I was trying to get over an ex that I had. And when things went poorly with her and her new boyfriend, she'd cry and try to talk to me and try to win me back over. And just a lot of the actions that she had really reminded me of Rei. I didn't want her back, but at the same time, I still longed for her. I even ended up being somewhere with her, and I held her in my arms, much like our friend Takashi here. So for me, this show just really resonated with me. The characters, anime, action, direction. It's the perfect blend of style and substance. Some more greatness is just in the very first episode when this guy is over the intercom and he's just trying to announce what's going on at the school, trying to be calm, and then everything turns to shit and you start hearing them scream and the entire school can all hear this go down. It's kind of like the idea of show not tell. Though in a way I guess it's still telling, but it's just, it really, instead of him just giving instructions like, hey students, this is really bad, they feel it. It's not them being told it's bad, they feel it. And I think the scene's done so well, and I'm shocked that I had never seen anything like that before and haven't seen anything quite like that after. I think it was just done so well. Another great scene is where they're the two girls skipping, and they're talking about how they're best friends and they're never going to betray each other, and then one gets grabbed by the zombie, so she gets kicked down the stairs, and she's like, you know, get your hands off me, stupid little bitch, and she kicks her down the stairs. And that one, I admit, is a little bit more over the top in like an unrealistic kind of way, but I don't think it's entirely unrealistic. Like, I think it was definitely like heightened. Like, I don't think it would be too likely that you'd have two girls skipping down the, maybe they weren't skipping, but in my mind they were skipping, and they're skipping down the hall, and then they're just talking about how great of friends they are, and then to have that scene play out. But I think what resonates so much is the emotion and like what that encapsulates. Like, yes, it might not be realistic for it to happen exactly that way over the span of 20 seconds, but I do think it's realistic to have two friends promise each other that they're going to be there for one another, and then one backstab them later down the road. That's happened to me plenty of times, though of course thankfully I wasn't kicked down a flight of stairs into a pile of zombies, but that part of it is realistic, and I think it's just meant to kind of scrunch up that feeling and emotion all into that one scene, which is highly memorable. We also have a character die who could have definitely been the main character if they were written for another show. But this show wasn't afraid of killing them off for maximum impact and for progressing our two other protagonist stories. And that's something I really liked about the show because it made me constantly on edge thinking that anyone could die at any point in time, and none of our characters were truly safe in this series. So I thought kicking off the pilot episode by having these 3 characters, or maybe 4 if you count someone else, but generally 3 characters, and seeing the story through their eyes, and then have them seem all relatively the same as far as importance goes, and then have one of them die, I think added a lot to the show. And it also showed that the writers weren't afraid of pulling punches. And last but not least, the final scream that Rei has, it cuts right into the ending song, and then it cuts back into her and her situation with Takashi, and then it has the music playing in the background, is legit one of my favorite anime moments of all time. I think it is done so well. I could watch it 100 times and still not tire of it. It is so amazing. I love it so much. It's cut so perfectly. The emotion and voice acting of this cast is absolutely amazing. I love this series so much. It's just so great. So if you don't mind fan service, then High School of the Dead is a must watch. Seriously, please go out and watch it. It is an amazing series. Highly recommend it. And of course, if you like High School of the Dead, then you should join our Discord community, link below, where we discuss anime and games. We have a fun time, and I'd love to chat with you about High School of the Dead and whatever else you're into. I just love making friends. So be sure to jump into our Discord there. Also, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought about High School of the Dead. And as always, stay awesome.
He is dead.